Our next guest was a Harmony Scholarship recipient back in 1999, and today he's Vice Chair and Trustee of the Toronto District School Board. We're going to invite Chen to the stage to present the Harmony Leadership and Education Award. Sean, round of applause.
Good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? Sounds good. They say that life comes first full circle, and I have to say I was here on this stage getting the Harmony Scholarship around 12 years ago, and I'm delighted to be back. I have to say it's a wonderful privilege for me to introduce to you this year's Leadership in Education Award. This deserving recipient is someone who I have had the wonderful privilege of working with for the past 4 years. I can tell you that he's written 6 books. I can tell you that he has his doctorate in education, and in fact, his supervisor, the foremost scholar in anti-racist education, George Day, who is my PhD supervisor, confided in me that he is very proud of this individual who completed his degree in 3 years. I can tell you that he is a former professional football player in the CFL. And all these things are not as important as the wonderful experience I have had working with him at the Toronto District School Board. He has been a transformational force. He goes into our schools and into our communities, and he asks the critical questions. Who are our learners? What do we teach them? And how do we teach? And it's through that lens of equity that he does his work as TDSB's Director of Education. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Dr. Christopher Spence.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. I have to say it's a real honor and a privilege to be here this evening, but more importantly, to share the stage with so amazing young people. The future of this city, this country, is sitting in our classrooms, and I think the future is very bright. Wouldn't you agree? I want to begin by thanking the selection committee for honoring me with this recognition. It's really humbling to receive an award carrying the distinguished title of Harmony Leadership in Education from an organization whose mission is to promote diversity, bring awareness, and to challenge all forms of discrimination while enhancing inclusion, diversity, and respect for all. And as you know, that's something that we aspire to at the Toronto District School Board each and every day. But by honoring us tonight, we illuminate a path for others to follow. You know, none of us got here on our own. We had champions, people who believed in us, who saw our promise, and helped us to succeed. So tonight I share this award with my friends and colleagues from the Toronto District School Board. Some of them are here tonight, all of whom I have the deepest respect and admiration for. Thank you for believing in me. And of course, I want to thank my family who can't be with me here tonight, who have been my inspiration and superb guide throughout my life. I also want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight to support the great work of the Harmony Movement and all that it does in our community. It is with great humility and gratitude that I accept this recognition. You know, it was Maya Angelou who said, when you learn, teach, when you get, give. And I want you to know that this award to me means that I will continue to strive to give back to the community what it has given me so that I might even be more worthy of tonight's honor. Okay, they've given me a few more minutes here, and so what I'd like to do is just talk to you a little bit about some of the work that we're doing at the Toronto District School Board, and I want to begin by reminding you of the words of author Neil Postman, who said, "Children are living messages that we send to a time we will not see. And the message that we have to send by way of our children is one of hope. Hope is what drives improvement. And improving our schools and ultimately our students' life outcomes is what we're all hoping for in the future. And as the largest, most diverse school board in the country, we have an obligation to ensure that every student who walks through our doors has an opportunity to be successful in life and in school. So one of the things that we have to continue to do is to build capacity around cultural proficiency, which is really just a way of being that esteems other cultures like we esteem our own. Now, one of the things that I like to do, and I need to do, is I lead with questions rather than answers, because anybody who knows me knows that I do not have a monopoly on wisdom. I really rely on the people that I surround myself with to help me make good decisions on behalf of our students, our staff, and our community. So the question that I keep asking, that really has to be the driver of all the work that we do, is what will it take? What will it take for every TDSB learner to walk the stage with dignity, purpose, and options? So every decision that we make at the Toronto District School Board must support a system in which the number one priority is learning for all. You see, traditionally the role of the school has been to ensure that all students get taught. But now we're trying to shift that paradigm to ensure all students learn, which is going to force us to ask the question, what are we going to do when students aren't learning? And we know we can't do that alone. We have to continue to reach out to you, to our community, and to organizations like Harmony so that we can support each and every student. Because improvement for our students isn't a mystery. We know all students really need three things to be successful, and it starts with, what do we believe? What do we believe about the potential of our students and our own ability to make a difference? So we need to ensure that we believe in their abilities to master a rigorous curriculum, and that with skilled and knowledgeable instruction in safe and caring environments, all students can and will be successful. Time tailored to specific student needs. Some students might just need more time to grasp the concepts. And understanding that not all students learn in the same way or at the same rate. You see, traditionally the student has always followed the teacher, but now more than ever, we're asking the teacher to follow the student and build on what that student knows and can do. And all of this has to be done through an equity lens. Equity being equal access to the benefits our system has to offer, but that may require differentiated treatment. You see, to achieve excellence, we must be inclusive. And to be inclusive, we must be equitable. And I think Professor George Day said it better than anybody else when he said, inclusion is not bringing people into what already exists, it is making a new space, a better space for everyone. And that's what we aspire to at the Toronto District School Board. Because quite honestly, I don't think we know half of what our students can do. You see, the same students that we say can't read and write well can create and remember complex lyrics set to hip-hop music. The same kids who can't even spell systems thinking can understand movement on a basketball court, anticipate future moves, and create elegant responses. Don't tell me they can't learn. It's how we teach them and how we engage them. And I remind you that our students have so many different learning styles. They can be picture smart, word smart, music smart, number smart, body smart, people smart, self smart. And part of our role is to create the conditions so that all of those learning styles are valued and nurtured. When I talk to staff, I remind them that our job is to teach the kids that we have, not the kids that we used to have, not the kids that we wish we had, not the kids who exist only in our dreams. And when I talk to these kids, they tell me that they want to be creators. They can be a filmmaker on YouTube, a recording artist on Second Life, an opinion leader on all the blogs. So we have to provide opportunities for all of our students to be successful. You see, I really do think that the work that we do really is about social justice, which begins by gaining a plight, by gaining a passion for the plight of disadvantaged students. And like French philosopher Denis Diderot said, passions, only great passions can elevate the soul to do great things. We have to have a passion for the work that we do and those that we lead as we continually ask ourselves, who tends to be privileged? Who tends to be marginalized? How can we take action in the classroom to interrupt these cycles of oppression? So for us at the Toronto District School Board, closing the achievement gap has to be an urgent priority in every classroom of every school. And I still believe that the achievement gap is ultimately vulnerable to the greatness inherent in every student and to the power of talented, hardworking teachers and staff who believe in their students and in their own ability to make a difference. And it's not so much an achievement gap as it is an opportunity gap. Because you know as well as I do, you can't motivate a student you don't know. There's no learning without trust and respect, and neither are granted automatically by today's students. They must be earned. Relationships matter, and with relationships comes expectations. And high expectations, like low expectations, become a self-fulfilling prophecy. A recent study came out, and they asked students from disadvantaged backgrounds why they weren't pursuing post-secondary education. And everybody thought what was going to come back, the reason that they weren't, is that they didn't have the resources. But what came back over and over again, the reason that they didn't, nobody expected them to. Their friends didn't, their family didn't, and sometimes their own teachers didn't. So again, it just underscores the importance of having a climate of high expectations in every classroom of every school. So what we have to do is believe. Believe in success for all, regardless of their personal circumstances. Believe that there are no limitations based on factors such as race, gender, different abilities, SES, and that schools assume responsibility for creating the conditions to ensure success. I believe we have a moral imperative to educate all children successfully. Not some of the students some of the time, but all of the students all of the time. Because an equitable system empowers all children to achieve. And I know when we talk about what's required to make our system the best that it can be, the challenge can be so overwhelming. But it's far less daunting when we think about this one child at a time. And that's the way we should think about it. If some students are getting lost in the system, then the system doesn't work. It has to work for every student. And I know that's a lofty goal, but that's a mission we should all embrace. Thank you.